Good evening, everybody. I'm Mark.
And I'm Britton.
I don't have the energy because today this movie drained me of it a little bit.
It was an ordeal.
But, let's get started. We'll get into that in a second. So the movie was 200 Motels. And it was created by Frank Zappa.
Yeah.
It was written and I think directed by him with music from his band, was it The Mother of Invention?
Yeah, The Mother of Invention. And for those, like, why don't you give a brief description of
me?
Not the movie, but of who Frank Zappa is.
All right, so Frank Zappa
for our younger audiences.
Frank Zappa is this is kind of almost embarrassing because this is the first thing I've ever seen or even heard of Frank Zappa. I mean, I've known Frank Zappa, I know of him. Yeah. But this was like the actual first type of media I ever consumed by him.
You never heard any of his music?
Nope. This was the first time I ever heard any of his music. Anything.
All right, same here. I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
No, that's fine.
You're kind of more knowledgeable on classic rock than I am.
But I will say that he was a musician with an emphasis on comedy.
Yeah.
And also with a little bit more experimentation and pushing the boundaries of what I guess was acceptable. He had a lot of satirical songs, I do know that.
Yeah.
Kind of bashing anything from like the current political climate of the time to television. Like he
was almost the anti Bob Dylan.
Yeah, he was kind of maybe a little bit of a precursor to somebody like
Tenacious D.
I was gonna say Weird Al. But yeah, I can see Tenacious D is probably a more fitting analogy for this.
Yeah. The film, on the other hand, was we were not under the right state of mind to watch this film. This is controlled substances were definitely intended for this film's audience, which we watched sober.
Yes. So if you're gonna watch this movie, my one recommendation is don't be sober.
Yeah.
If it's at all legal or possible for you to not be sober, don't do this sober because you're just gonna be you're kind
of bored.
Yeah. So why don't you go ahead and give a description of what happened in this movie?
I'll do my best. It was it was difficult to really follow along. At least half to 2/3 of the film is performances by the band.
Yes.
So I have a feeling that they would perform some kind of sketch. Then the band would sing about it.
Mm-hmm.
The movie starts off. Does it start? No, it starts off with
it's Ringo.
Yeah, Ringo Starr descending from a soundstage, dressed as Frank Zappa, and he's kind of the narrator, for lack of a better term. Of this, but not really.
Mm-hmm. Like, he does pop up every now and again to say a few lines, but really the basic overall idea of the movie is just these performances are going on a lot of times almost in the background, even though they take up everything, and even though they somehow take up the foreground, it's like it's not like a front and center music video all the time. They're just singing and something else is happening. So it is, I guess, kind of like a music video itself.
Of sorts. The biggest theme I can really the biggest theme I could really discern from all the chaos was just the band trying to get laid.
Yeah, there was basically I think the overarching idea was when you're on tour, you just stay at a lot of hotels or motels rather.
Yeah.
And life on the road is almost kind of it's kind of draining a little bit. You go to different towns, and that's what happens here. They go to this weird town. I already forget what it was called, like Centersville or something.
Centersville. Yeah, I think it was Centersville.
And they interact with the locals who are like, I guess, rednecks and hicks and everything. because I only know about that because they sing a song about it. And then they meet up with groupies, they try to get laid, they do drugs, and it's pretty much like that's their lives when they're on the road.
And that's really the overall premise, with with songs kind of mixed in. There's also this German guy who's always trying to get people to sign things in blood, but kind of innocuous things like cheeseburgers and beer.
And he only does it like a few times, then he just disappears from the movie completely.
Yeah, until the very end, where he loses his accent and sings about bad food in England.
They, like, when Ringo first comes down, he has, a genie's lamp.
Yeah.
And every now and again, it'll just appear, and then it'll just go away. Oh, go ahead.
It's like that green sphere in the heavy metal movie.
It's like every now and then, there was this one scene where Ringo was recording all these ideas from these, the musicians, and then went home and tried to write it down, on a music sheet, but kept on spilling things on it. But he really got into it and liked it dirty and liked to rub things. It was a weird fucking movie.
It was, and a lot of the times during these performances, they got this poor orchestra.
Yeah, it was like the Philharmonic Orchestra. I think it was.
To kind of get in on, to do some of the performances, and they get the. They get these choir women who to sing songs about penises, and you could see like some of these old guys who are like either playing a cello or something like that, just kind of look disgusted that they've kind of been brought down to the state that they are. And
there's one thing that's kind of interesting about this, because to us here in the magical year of 2021, it's like vulgarity in music isn't too shocking to us at all.
No.
But I feel that in this time and place, this might have been like akin to like a Lenny Bruce type situation where they were challenging like an established a standard of what could be in music, and that was kind of more of a freedom act of singing about the penis like that.
Yeah, like I think like the Hays Code had been lifted, and actually I don't know when the Hays Code was lifted, but it was just pretty much they were experimenting with the extent of which vulgarity could be put into music. Kind of like the divine of music.
Now, I'm gonna say, like, first I'm gonna tell the opinion of the movie. I thought it was stupid. I thought it was dumb. I know it was meant to be dumb, but it was just like, again, it just wasn't made for me and the current state that I was in. It wasn't made for a sober Mark or sober Britton or sober anybody.
It's really not just for sobriety. Like, we're also of the wrong generation.
That's true, but here is a somewhat controversial statement that I did want to say as I was watching a movie, which is, I kind of really liked the music in it. Like, I liked it a lot.
Yeah, the music was not bad. It gave me almost a Creedence Clearwater Revival type.
It gave me a bit of a Grand Funk Railroad kind of thing, and it's like, man, even though they were singing about like these weird ideas about England not having good food, or again penises, or trying to get laid and everything, I was like, these guys are actually really talented.
Yeah, they were very, for those of you who do like classic rock of the 70s and like a little bit of funk, like a little bit of like what would you even genre? What would you even give it a genre?
I would almost give it a genre of like maybe a little bit of rock mixed with a little bit of blues.
Yeah,
there was almost like a bluesy element to it.
Yeah, like almost a cross between blues and southern rock.
So, like, I think it was like the second or third. It was the song that they were singing about the waitresses.
The Hicks song.
Yeah, the Hicks song, and I was like, this this movie is stupid and it's already lost me. But I was like, I can't deny that I'm really digging the music. And I didn't want to say anything while I was watching because I wanted to save it for here.
I didn't have much. The music wasn't bad. Wouldn't be my big pick. I do like classic rock, but as a movie experience, it just was lacking. Like, it would just be, this fat, a close up of this fat guy's face as he's singing about, trying to get laid.
Like, this is something that I might actually scour, like YouTube or something to see if I can find more music by the Mother's Invention, because I really like their music. And I guess that was maybe part of the reason that the movie was made, to kind of maybe spread the awareness of, the band and everything like that, only to, hippies, I guess, or people who were stoned in the audience. Yeah. But, go ahead.
Because this was, before MTV was a thing, and music videos weren't that big. Like, every once in a while, like the Who or the Beatles would make a music video to film, and God knows where they would be playing them.
Yeah, but probably like bumpers. I think we maybe determined.
Yeah,
but I feel we really need to at least describe just a little bit of what some of this, because we can just sit there and say it was disjointed, it was just weird, like all we want, but like we really have to go all in and tell you some of the shit that we saw.
All right.
So there was kind of a I want to say almost a, like, just imagine music playing, just some bluesy rocks playing, na 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 na, and now imagine that there is almost like the colors are washed out, or at the very least, like everything is green with a big green filter on it.
These weird kind of like chroma key type effects, like the early kind of effects that you could do on video.
Mm-hmm. And then you'd have maybe a bunch of random extras like sitting together, all wearing like orgy masks.
Yeah.
And every now and again sipping a drink, and then you get some fast editing where it just goes to some guy's face, or like maybe there's one guy and then on top of him it's like what's that, like another him, like it's like half faded in or something.
And then there'd be these kind of back and forth, reverse and forward shots, where like they just kind of make these people dance, or by playing and reversing the footage.
Yeah, and then they'd do it back and forth, and then they would stop, and they'd have a guy come up and touch like the guy who's frozen, and then he would yell at him.
Yeah.
It's a fucking weird movie.
It was definitely...
it was 90 minutes of that.
Yeah, and it was really... If there was a plot, it went over my head. But here's the question.
Okay.
How would we do a psychedelic?
Literally what I was going to do next. That was my next topic to bring up. So, let's say that we had the same budget as...
I think, what was it, 400,000? They showed a bunch of receipts with the end footage, so at least we know how much money they spent.
So, let's see. Let's pretend that me and Britton are around in the 60s, or early 70s, because I think that's what this was. And... it's just, us. We get transported from time, just...
Yeah, and somehow we're also inundated with the talent of music.
Yeah, like, we're just writing.
Okay.
Because we're not going to be performing. Like, maybe Frank Zappa comes up to us. I don't know why he would. He'd be like, hey, you guys are time travelers. That just seems like something that should help me out of my show here.
Okay. And what would we do? Like, here's the thing. Like, we're not vulgar.
Yeah,
we're like they're talking about getting laid, doing drugs, doing all this thing, and that's not really our thing, because I think we as a society kind of moved past that and kind of made that most of us.
Yeah.
It just kind of seems a bit juvenile.
But if we're back in this time period, and this is experimental, and people are like, wow, these vulgarities are almost shocking. I wouldn't go vulgar still.
No.
But, I would be like, all right, Mr. Zappa, you can have some of your vulgar bits, but me and Britton, we'd like to also add some of our own flavor to this.
I think what we would do, or at least one thing I would do, is just, they wrap up a song, and then I would stop the scene dead and have an Ingmar Bergman slow experimental like Swedish film.
I wouldn't do that. I would part of me wants to dive in and like just be taken in by this madness. So we'd finish the song, and then I would ride on like a wooden horse, one of those horse with like sticks with the horse heads on them.
Yeah.
And of course, maybe I am in cowboy regalia, maybe I'm not, I don't know. But I come in, I deliver a telegram by Pony Express, and one of the characters reads it, and they're like, far out, it's the next song, and they like put it into the. It's almost like the Rocky and Bullwinkle skit,
Oh, I thought it was like Blue's Clues when they receive a letter and then they open the letter and it's like a message.
You know what?
But it's like, hey, it's the next song. Pew! And
Blue's Clues didn't exist back then. We could steal it. Far out, the next message. We just got a letter. We just got a letter. Letter. We just got a letter. Penis, fart, and butt.
Yeah. But it just shows the contrast between you and me, because mine would just be it goes black and white in the existential weight of living is a blessing and a curse.
I think I know what I could do, because the whole we can't out weird this movie, because this movie is just too damn weird.
Yeah, it's.
So
we are putting a lot of we're putting more logic than this thing put in itself.
So what I'm gonna do at least is I'm gonna have one character, one character gonna be in most of the movie, but they are almost outside of all this craziness going on. Whenever there's a weird filter going on, they are standing in the middle of this green filter party scene, and he's just regular, everything. He's just normal. He's looking around why the hell is everything filtered?
What is going on here?
Yeah, he is the sober guy in the audience who doesn't get it, and he's the villain.
Is he? I don't know about the villain, but I almost want him to be a straight razor, no nonsense type of guy. What are these people doing? This is not a mutual thing for the community.
I want him to be wearing a top hat. No, you know what? I don't want to go with a wealthy dowager kind of thing.
I want him to be a 1950s Joe Everybody. He has, he just got off of work. He has black pants, a white button-up shirt with his sleeves kind of rolled up, and the first two buttons unbuttoned on his shirt.
I'm thinking leather aviator helmet and goggles. I'm thinking Red Baron. He's the Red Baron. That's who it is.
So pretty much we're taking that German guy and changing his just his attire and his personality.
Yeah, he's just the Red Baron. He just got back from World War I, and he just doesn't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah,
and he's just out of place. But his costume is very distinctive, so it would actually, I think, mesh well with all the other stuff going on.
It couldn't. I don't think there's anything that can contrast that film.
He goes in there. He gets he goes into the redneck bar that all the weird orgy masked people are sitting at.
Yeah,
and he's just sitting down he's just drumming his hands on his on his lap, just waiting to get a drink.
Yeah.
He's calling a waitress over, but she's not paying attention because she's upside down and doing all the stuff that they were doing. She's reverse footage, and everything else around him is reversing footage, but he's just getting annoyed. He's reaching for his drink and it reverses and she goes backwards and he just misses it. And then she re-reverses and goes forward, so he reaches for his drink again, then she reverses again. He's like, come on.
And then he just knocks the glass out of her hand out of frustration. There! Now none of us can have it.
Yeah, I think that would be the only thing that I could add that would make the movie still retain its weirdness, but would give it a distinctive, like, Mark flair to it.
That works. I still prefer my almost Sam the Eagle-esque type. Are you going to give me that beer or not? I am quite parched.
These people in this place are certainly odd fellows. That I can tell you very much.
Without hyperbole.
He takes out his, like a little book from his pocket and starts marking in it, like, weird fellows on blah blah blah. He's keeping a little journal to himself. And he's also...
So, in case he has to report them as communists.
And he's also reporting next to it his mileage and, gas that he spent. his business account, or business expenses.
For tax reasons.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's a communist, catching / tax, collecting kind of situation.
Because he's a bit of a penny pincher, like,
of course.
Why would I spend money on 2 books when I could just put it in 1?
Like, when he opens up the book, the left side is for the communist business, and the right side is for the tax business. And if he runs out of room on one, like, let's say he's got the whole thing filled with, tax information, but only like 2 lines filled with communist stuff.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter, he's going to the next page, gonna keep on going like that.
But he really gets in a bad mood when he runs out of room on a page and has to go to a next page.
Because that's a waste of page.
It is. His entire day is ruined because of that.
Like, he tries to, like, if he goes through a day where he is not finding a lot of communists or things to report about communism, like, he really tries to curtail his expenses so he doesn't, run out of room yet. Like, he's trying to slow it down a little bit.
Yep. And it happens a lot more often. Like, he'll start accusing anyone. Like, there's this little girl down the road that he thinks is a communist.
Go ahead.
Or he'll have repeat offenders.
Yeah, it's like, I saw the guy at the ice cream shop, and this is the second time he didn't give me a napkin. So that's communist behavior right there.
I saw a man down at the convenience store wearing red shoes, red being the color of communism.
And so, once he walks into this freakout bar with Frank Zappa playing and everything going like haywire.
Yeah.
Like, it's the first time ever that he's running out of room on the left side of the page before the right side. And
it's really making him mad.
He's filled up 3 whole pages all on the left side. He hasn't touched the right page in 3 pages.
And he's in a conundrum because does he kind of ignore some of these potential communists to save room, or does he spend more money to put into this expense account?
But then again, he's like, I can't spend more money. The point is, I don't want to spend more money, but I can't ignore all these communist offenses because
that is my civic duty as an American.
That's the other point of the book.
Oh, these guys. Oh, they're communists.
Oh my goodness. Freezing time? That is communist if I've ever seen it.
Like, time is supposed to be for everyone.
Red-blooded Americans do not freeze time. That's a fact.
Did Thomas Jefferson freeze time for him or his slaves?
Did Ike Eisenhower freeze time? I don't think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy's
This guy's a bit of a stick in the mud.
I kind of want to see I want to see how this turns out. I want to see what happens when he delivers this book to the tax office /
his accountant.
Yeah, his accountant who's also maybe taking these pages and mailing them to the proper sources.
I don't think so. I think he'll give the book to the accountant. And the accountant will be like, all right, crazy, let me just get the numbers I need. And, here's your stupid book back. And then he'll give it to the, what was it, the FBI that was, was doing...
I think he takes it right to town hall.
Yeah.
I think it goes right to the mayor.
And, the mayor's like, all right, thank you, Frank. And just throws it in the trash because the other books he's given him.
And,
That mayor kind of dismissed the book awfully quick. Mayor might be potential communist.
See, now I imagine that there's a communist invasion. I imagine it's from space now in his town.
Space Commies?
Yeah, because I imagine that he doesn't even really know what communists are. And so they're just like, they're furry space monsters.
That's how he sees communists?
Yeah, and they come down from space, and they land, and they're like, we are the communists. We are going to take over this country. Not the Earth.
Yeah.
Just the country.
Just America.
Yeah, and now he's got concrete proof, and nobody will believe him.
It's kind of like a they live scenario.
Yeah.
Where he's the only one with the special glasses.
I think they don't even hide it, and they still don't believe him.
Yep.
Because right now it's out of spite from Centersville.
It's kind of like a Coneheads. We are French.
Oh, so is French a communist nation? I don't think it is. I think democracy was born there.
No. Democracy was clearly born in America.
America's democracy's an American thing? Yeah. Democracy's an American thing. Yeah, democracy.
And, do you think he stalks these aliens?
The communists?
No, the guy with the notebook.
No, yeah, that's what I mean, the communist aliens, you mean.
Oh, yeah.
I think at first he tries to do the right thing by alerting the authorities, like, Mayor Shuzak.
Shuzak?
Yeah. Mayor Shuzak!
What?
Well, you just dropped your book off. There's communists right now. They just landed in the center of town, and look at them. You know, they're doing, like, stupid things, like I saw them.
They're gnawing on like telephone poles.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be like, I saw them throw an egg at the American flag. Like, these are 100% real communists.
Oh,
okay, yeah.
Thank you, Frank. I'll bring it before the board.
You gotta believe me.
These things take time to process, Frank.
There's a town meeting. There's a town hall meeting that night, I imagine, and he busts in with like just a one of those long sheets of like data paper, basically.
Like that dot matrix paper.
Yeah, and his glasses are all askew.
And like when they mail out the flyers for the town hall meeting, they always give him the wrong date, the date after. But somehow he figured it out.
And he busts in the door, and everyone kind of turns, and then there's that hubbub. Frank, here we go.
Everyone's a communist. He said my dog was a communist.
Your dog is a communist.
He just barks funny.
Meow, meow. But and he busts in with his data sheet, and he's all disheveled. Like, I see them. They're here. They're coming. The communists are coming. Okay, Frank.
Well, Judith has the stand now.
She has the floor.
So, you're gonna have to wait your turn.
And I think that the kids are playing their music too loud, and I can't watch my stories when they come on because they have the loud music and they make their cars' engines go so loud.
No, they're right here.
Stop
Judith has the floor, Frank.
That could be me up there having my stories interrupted with loud music. All in favor of doing something about the loud music, say aye. Aye. Alright, now the floor recognizes... Mrs. Parsons, you had something about the bake sale. And I imagine that the communists come in, and I imagine they come in like in a Ford Thunderbird with the music playing real loud.
But they still have like classic 50s Mylar suits.
I was gonna say they're wearing like the Letterman sweaters because they're trying to
over
fit
their
in.
Mylar suits. Yeah, they come in. They're like greasers. They're like the rowdy youths from the 50s, and they come in. They like push a guy over.
Yeah, they come in and they just cause a general amok. You know, they just run amok. You know, they knock some guy's books down. You know, they rub the head of the mayor like too hard. They tussle his hair.
Does someone wish to challenge the space communists?
Oh, the communists are real, and it's too late now because they've made it to town hall, and by town hall, you know, rules, they now get a seat. You know, they have the floor.
Like they are legal residents, and even though they are communists, they have the right to. Their First Amendment. Yeah,
they had the right to assemble, and the mayor accidentally recognized them, so the floor is theirs.
And they filibuster like no tomorrow. And according to like some old town charter, the town who attended the town hall is required to stay until the end.
And it's like, to them, they speak for 3 galactic hours, which is like
2 weeks.
Yeah. It's like 178 hours to
and it's just one. They do it in one breath. They just
and they're and the whole time they are just mocking American values.
What kind of flag is that? Only 50 stars.
Well, back I guess it's
48.
That's good. Well, this is in the 70s, so I guess it's fun.
We'll 50 stars.
Yeah, we'll fudge it.
I think there were 50 stars in the 70s.
Yeah, there were. And it's like, apple pie. Apple pie is the least good pie there is.
There are better pies. Superior pies.
Rhubarb is the superior pie.
That's communist pie!
That's not good pie!
Boo!
Right.
Do we have the floor or not?
Thank you. And it goes on for so long that people are dropping dead because the only nourishment they bring is the rhubarb pie.
There's only a bathroom. And the communists kind of take over the bathroom. Like, they don't let anyone in there to drink. And there's no fountains or anything. Like, it's not meant to be a place where people gather for too long.
Yeah, no, and so it's like it actually ruins the town, and it crumbles the whole town.
Yeah.
And now and as the movie ends, the communists have their eyes on Washington. That's their next target. And it's, this town, like, there's like a voiceover. This town could be any town, USA. Watch your streets. Lock your doors, because the communists may be coming for you next.
We bring you rhubarb.
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 Then there's like there's like the kind of like a crossfade to the American flag. Like waving behind the destruction of the town.
Like it's a crossfade with the waving American flag and a fire.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, is this the fate of democracy?
Like the town hall's on fire and everything. It's the American flag just waving.
And the music is the Star Spangled Banner, but played in a minor. Oh, say, can you see?
And that's how the movie ends. Like, the credits roll, and people walk out of the theater terrified.
Yeah,
I think Mabel next door is a Nazi.
A Nazi?
Aren't they the same?
No, they're not the same.
I'm sorry.
We don't care about. She's okay. She's a Nazi. A communist is what we're after.
I don't know.
Didn't you see the movie? That is how we would make the movie.
Like, it would just be. I think Frank Zappa would be pissed.
You know what? I don't know. I think
actually, it is counterculture.
Yeah, I think Frank Zappa would hear this pitch and he would be like, "Guys, this is the most brilliant thing I've ever heard in my entire. You guys are fucking out there."
Like, that's too wild for me, fellas.
I'm just gonna stick to the green filters and the reverse footage
and the penises.
Yeah, the penises have to stay. Oh boy. That's a doozy. I almost want to write a story like that now.
Yeah, just this. He's almost Clouseauian.
Frank.
Yeah, like where he's just discovering clues that don't exist, or he's just bumbling. He's bumbling through life, not really seeing seeing the world through these communist-colored glasses.
I guess that's another They Live reference.
Yeah.
Puts on the communist-colored glasses so we can see him.
And they like anyone who's a communist has a thick Lenin mustache, even the children.
And he finally shows up to the town hall and says something like, "I'm here to kick butt and chew oatmeal, and I'm all out of oatmeal." Because he's boring.
Yeah.
It's not chewing gum.
Chewing
gum is too exotic for this guy.
What do they chew? What is that? What other? I'm here to chew straw and kick patootie.
And I'm all out of patootie. Oh man, that's great.
I heard Maple was a Nazi.
And we're not doing the Nazis.
We already killed them.
And we're done with the Nazis. It's the communists now.
Oh.
But
Mabel is
she's still a Nazi, though. Well, who cares? Who cares? I don't know who that guy is.
Hey, who cares?
Hey, who cares? Somehow Brooklyn, like 1972.
Yeah, the Brooklynites are.
They've invaded.
Yeah.
It's a rumble between the communists and the sharks.
Hey, who do you think you can come here, invading our turf, saying you can spread equality and distribute the wealth amongst the people and the proletariat?
That's my wealth.
You can't have it.
You can get my wealth once you pry it from my cold, dead fingers.
And then they get on their motorcycles and circle around the communists in their jackets and Mylar suits.
It looks like we have a rumble, boys.
And they're swinging chains.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that would be like, and this is all happening in the town hall.
Oh yeah,
in the building still. Like, it's just madness. There's old women with like little pillbox hats fainting in these chairs.
Like I want the space communists and these Brooklyn greasers to have like a race down like Dead Man's Curve.
Oh, they have a chickie run.
Yeah, they have so the first one to the Midnight Run is the winner. The other one has to leave town.
And and here comes the to drop the flag. The handkerchief is a big, thick, mustached communist, communist woman.
Communist. I think it's just a regular communist officer. He's in full
regalia.
Full he is in full Soviet regalia, and from the inside of his breast pocket, he brings out this lacy little handkerchief and drops it.
And then they're off. Now, I guess the greasers are in a motorcycle and they're in their T-Bird.
Yeah.
Okay, I can get behind this.
And there's a lot of close calls. The Brooklynites are swinging chains at the communists, and the communists are.
And they got the knife and they're throwing it at the spokes of their wheels.
Yeah, and they're trying to run them off the road, but the Brooklyn people have agility, while the communists
have strength.
And then they pull a lever and it's like a spaceship or something like that. Hey!
I imagine because this has to end on a downer. I do imagine that. Wait, who's the leader of the Brooklynites who's running in this race?
Jimmy the Tulip.
Jimmy the Tulip. All right. I imagine Jimmy the Tulip ends up going over Dead Man's Curve, and that's how that's the end of him.
And then afterward, there's this monotone '50s ballad by the communists. Jimmy died that night, and he never came back because his body decomposed.
Because he went over Dead Man's Curve.
You know, I can't stand this communist music. It's driving me insane.
They gotta always talk about Jimmy like that for. There's 3 Dead Man Curve songs.
And how many Dead Man Curves? Why can't, what do we pay the taxes for if they can't fix that curve?
What are they taking our wealth for if this Dead Man's Curve isn't doing anything?
Like, if we're distributing our wealth because they took over now because we lost the race, like, what are they fixing?
You know what? I blame Jimmy the Tulip.
Ah, Jimmy the Tulip.
He was drinking. I saw him drinking before he raced the race.
Hey, was that vodka he was drinking?
That was vodka he was drinking.
He was a communist all along, that communist fuck.
If he would have drank beer like the rest of us, we would have been fine.
But no, he had to take a swig from that space pinko.
He had to drink that commie water, and now look where we're at.
Jimmy, what'd you do to us?
See,
you were supposed to be the best of us all.
And then he kind of he breaks down and starts crying. I wish you were here, Jimmy. And he looks up at the sky, and then you just see his face kind of fade in.
Yeah,
smiling down
with some
on them.
doo-wop song in the background playing.
Well,
Jimmy died that day.
He died on Dead Man's Curve. He's not going away.
And space communists took over.
Cause of Dead Man's Curve. They got a doo-wop! They got a doo-wop!
What are they gonna take next? Apple pie?
Our jobs.
Oh, man. I'm not gonna lie, I would watch the shit out of this movie. It would be... I wouldn't know what to make of it.
I would absolutely love this, because there would have to be a certain point watching it that I would just say, you know something? I'm giving in to the madness. I know this can't be taken seriously. Like, even though I would be presenting it like this, very straight-laced, it's a comedy. It has to be. It can't be anything but a comedy.
Oh yeah, it would have to be. Do you think there's a knife fight where they tie their hands together?
Oh yeah, and I imagine that there's a lot of little, back and forth little things, like the knife fight happens and one of the communists ends up getting hit, and losing its life. That's like the first major blow against the communists, and it really upsets like their communist leader.
Yeah.
Because that was his brother.
Yeah, Tony the Garthwack.
Yeah. What'd they do to you, Tony?
Tony, you were supposed to be the best of us all.
And he's like lying there, and he's bleeding like green blood.
What's a stupid color blood?
It's no, I don't want to say purple. Pink.
Pink blood?
Pink.
Bright pinko blood for this pinko.
And he's looking up. A pox on both of your houses.
He put a pox on us, Vinny.
Well, we're gonna bring their commie poxes on us next.
I'm not worried, no commie poxes.
You know how many poxes I've had in my day?
I already had the pox when I was a kid.
I had the pox and I had the clap. I had everything.
You think some pinko pox is gonna get me?
Stop calling us that.
That is not nice.
And also now I imagine their T-bird is hot pink also.
Yeah, of course.
Now it is a whole pink theme. Not their Letterman jackets.
No, their Letterman jackets are your standard red and white
exactly.
Letterman.
But they have a foreign symbol. That's the letter. It's like a Cyrillic letter.
It's like epsilon.
Yeah.
Oh, Cyrillic?
Yeah.
I like it, like the backwards N.
Yeah, it's funny because it's almost like it's just a little bit off, so it's like a space Cyrillic.
Yeah.
The Space Commies. Now, go ahead.
And who's then? So they take over or run out, but who's going to be the big threat afterwards?
Against the communists?
Yeah.
Nothing. Like, I imagine that, cause again, like, it's gonna march on, they're gonna march on Washington and everything. That's the big threat. It's almost like an alien invasion movie where,
yeah.
have you seen the original ending of Little Shop of Horrors, the musical?
I didn't. Oh, I heard of it, where pretty much they take over the world.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a final song called "Don't Feed the Plants," where it's like the army's fighting them and they're losing, like they're on the Statue of Liberty and everything like that. And it's a really fantastic musical number.
They paint the Statue of Liberty red, and she's holding a sickle.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. It's like, this is what I want to see, like the same thing, where the commies, the space commies, are doing basically the same stuff, where it's like almost a cautionary tale about communism. Like, if you're not alert 24/7, then this is gonna happen.
Flashpoint. San Francisco falls to communist menace. Communist march across town square. Bashing the flora and fauna that do not conform to the communist menace.
Now, I imagine, like, there's a scene where there's explosions going off in the distance, and, like, the communists are, like, taking over all the ways of life. It's taken the Washington Monument, and, it's changed it into I don't know,
a missile, ICBM.
Yeah, an ICBM. That's like, and it's like real quick. It's kind of like they zap like laser eyes on it, and turns it into an ICBM, and like the president, not any specific president, but the president of the movie.
Yeah, just the 1950s president.
Like, he's watching, like, from under, he's like peeking his head from under the desk, the Resolute desk. He's biting his nails, but he's wearing like a sash that says president, and he's wearing a monocle.
I imagine he's not under the Resolute desk. I imagine he's in the like the ready room or wherever the big map is, and just like, man, Washington is falling.
I imagine he's got his arms crossed behind him, and he's just staring out the window, a broken man, seeing everything crumble in front of him.
General, get the vice president. Swear him in.
Oh my god. I imagine it's almost shot like as the news and all the maybe the announcer or whatever, like, who's saying, like, this could be your town, this could be your country. Like, you just
it's
see
like
these
newsreels.
Yeah, you just see these images of, like, the president and everything like that, and I imagine he's in the same pose as like the captain going down with his ship kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, as you just see him with his arms crossed behind his back, staring out the window, and then, you see his broken face. It's like, now it's looking through the window, you see him, and it kind of pans down, and you see the the steering wheel for the ship of America, and it's spinning wildly and out of control.
And the Americans almost get the upper hand until they bring out the big robot Stalin. That's what's going on in the background as the president's looking out the window. Just this giant robotic Stalin smashing the Capitol building.
I imagine it's designated by the words on its chest. It's Stall-N. Stall-1N. And yeah, that's I gotta tell you, that would be, I'd walk out of that movie going, this was a masterpiece.
What a stupid, brilliant movie.
Like, it captured both the elements of pure, like, inanity,
but gave it over-the-top drama.
Like, the movie knew it wanted to be over the top, and it delivered. It never backed off of that simple vision of being stupidly over the top.
And before America Falls, I think Rasputin on a white horse like Gandalf, he comes in to save the day with the the remnants of the White Russian army. Ghost army.
Nope, I imagine the last thing we see is the White House sinking into the earth, And then the last, with the American flag again, like cross-faded behind it, and you just hear "From sea to shining sea."
I do that, or like the president pulls a lever, and the White House takes off as a spaceship, and they nuke Washington. they just char the earth behind them.
Like I imagine the pillars and everything in the White House. So like he pulls the lever and they extend out and raise up, and it's just a giant helicopter. They spin around super fast and raise them up.
Or the pillars of the White House just are like spider legs, and the White House just kind of walks away.
Like Wild Wild West is just this giant spider.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, 200 cigarettes.
200 cigarettes.
200, that was another movie. 200 Motels.
A baffling movie of the extent with which Frank Zappa tried to experiment with the medium, almost Andy Warhol-esque. But if you like that type of music, and you're a frequent, if you frequent certain controlled substances safely, I think you might enjoy it.
I will say that this movie was not made for me.
Yeah.
Not in the least bit. I don't even think made for me if I was under the influence of any kind of controlled substance. I don't know. That's not my area of expertise.
Yeah.
But I will say that I appreciate the movie because it did introduce me to a music group that I kind of dug.
Yeah.
So take that, make with that as you will. And I think that'll do it. Take it easy, everybody.
Toodaloo.
And watch the skies for communists!
You could be next!
Alright, that'll hold a little SOPs.